How's it? Welcome to the Friday Deep Dive on Loose Cannons TV. I am the Bearded Gooner. I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. My partner right here, this is Ars Bros Ryan. He's a new baby daddy, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, realest guys in the room. How you doing? So there's been a lot of things happening recently. Some good, some not so good. This is a, how do I want to say this? It's not necessarily going to be therapeutic. We're not looking for therapeutic per se. But we are looking to try to bring an ounce of reality to the Arsenal fan base with the Nane Madueke signing. I am not, how do I put this? I'm not over the moon for it. I'm not thrilled about it. Whether I approve or not is neither here nor there. I'm a supporter. If the deal goes through, and I do say it looks 90% done, but not done yet. So I will say if the deal goes through, I'm in. I'm on board. When he comes on, if he's gonna cover for Saka, if he's gonna give him a break, give him a rest, so be it. I hope he does well. I hope he bags 20 goals. I hope he bags 5 goals. Whatever he's gonna do. But there's just been so this is divisive. I mean, like really, really divisive. I don't recall a signing being this divisive. I mean, sure, it's like, yeah, okay, that's not our first choice, but okay. I kind of feel like everybody brings up Ramsdale, and stop me, jump in at any point. But a lot of I see comparisons to Ramsdale, like, oh, okay, but he wasn't the first choice. I know he caught a lot of flack, but I don't feel like it divided the base the way that this has. Jorginho, Trossard, Pepe. I mean, Pepe, I feel like divided us later with all of the crap that came out surrounding the signing. You know what I mean?
I think Pepe was divisive because there was other players that we were linked with that we wanted. What was it? Emery wanted. I don't even remember who it was.
Oh
He
yeah.
wanted someone, and the board
You're,
gave him Pepe.
you're gonna drive me nuts with this.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm like, I didn't want to bring it up because I was like, I don't remember his name. But yeah, I mean, I think honestly,
Wilfred Zaha. There's
yeah,
real Ryan. Wilfred Zaha. Yep.
Thank you, Ryan. The thing with Ramsdale is and I hate to say this because as someone who has played goalie, I can't take offense to it, but like I don't think people really they care about their keeper, but it's not as to most supporters, it's not as important as an attacker. And I thought he got a lot of honestly, and like I mean, this could be. I'm not going to say this is 100% true, but I think if Ramsdale came from Chelsea, I think it would have been very similar, a lot more similar.
Yeah, and like I don't.
And then one more thing, sorry, and then on top of that, Ramsdale, like Arteta wanted Raya. That's been like a thing for when Raya came in. But I think when we signed Ramsdale, it wasn't like, oh, come on, why aren't we getting Raya similar to like Rodrigo? I think Raya like had just upped his contract. He extended or something where it was a note that we couldn't get him. It's kind of like, all right, well, I guess we'll get him. It's kind of all right. I feel like it would have been the Ramsdale thing would have been similar to this situation. Would have been if like Rodrigo decided to stay at Madrid and we ended up like having to sign Madueke. Then it would have been like, okay, like I don't like this signing, but like I get like we have to do something. And that's something we're gonna get into, and it's the sequence of events. So I mean, but yeah, I think the most comparable thing is definitely Ramsdale, but there were definitely a lot of similarities, but also like a lot of differences that made it not as divisive as this signing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one thing to not be on board with it. It's another thing to just completely lose your mind over this. Um, and for anyone who is attacking Nani Madueke, it's like, why? What did he do? He didn't do anything. This is, if you're mad at anybody, you're mad at the club. Don't attack him. You're mad at the club because they're the ones pushing for the deal. I guess this is where I'll start, and we're going to get into, you've got bullet points, and I'll say the pros with him that you want to make.
I have an essay.
Yeah, you do. I saw backstage. I saw what he's got. Yeah, that's one.
I guess they are bullet points.
That's one of 4, by the way. That's one whiteboard of 4 that he has.
I have Vanna White. I mean, my wife handing me the boards.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, for me, I don't like the money spent. And for people saying that, oh, well, it's 25 million plus bonus. It's not 25 million plus bonuses. It's 42 and 10. And there are 2 bonuses, £5 million each. One is he wins the Ballon d'Or. Okay, we're going to save £5 million there. The other is winning Champions League. Okay, so will you pay £47 million for a player that presumably would play a role in helping us win Champions League? Now, if the help is in the form of giving Bukayo Saka a rest, and Bukayo Saka is fresher, stays, knock on wood, injury-free throughout the course of the year because he's not having his tires run off, and that's down to Nane Madueke, spelling him, then great. I'm all for it. And those who are saying that, well, this is the going rate for a backup. No, this is the going rate for a backup if you're Liverpool or Manchester City. And, okay, I'm not going to sit here and say, and I'll die on this hill if I need to, Manchester City is not the fucking standard. They're not. They're cheaters. The 139 charges are gone. They're gone. I think they got a fine, and that was it. There's nothing left to this. And everyone, David Ornstein, Sammy Mokbel, Fabrizio Romano, James McNicholas, all of the reliable people that we look to on social media to give us reliable information, they haven't mentioned it in months. So the only thing I can come up with on that front is, I'm getting on a bit of a tangent. I don't mean to. What just walked through your room?
Oh,
no, I know. It's just fun. It's like,
I didn't realize.
Sidebar.
Yeah, whoa.
A clip from The Nun came up on one of my social media feeds, and it was The Nun. If you've seen the movie The Nun, it was the scene in the second Conjuring, The Conjuring 2, where the nun just walks like across the hallway and then disappeared. And that is exactly what your wife just did. And it was funny. And it was kind of creepy because she got a towel on her head. That was funny. Anyway, with Manchester City being the standard, if people want to go down that road, well, they're cheaters, and you're not gonna win that battle with me. They've paid off whomever to just make this go away. So I and the Jack Grealish, $100 million backup. Now,
someone came prepared.
Now, he wasn't when they bought him. He's Jeremy Doku. Well, he was Jeremy Doku.
He was a rotation option.
I
wasn't signed to be a backup, but he also wasn't signed to play the amount of games Saka is playing.
Look, if you want to say that Manchester City is a standard from the we need to build our depth, and we need, as you've said, raise the floor. I can get behind that. In terms of the way that we're going to spend money, no, that's not a thing. That's not a standard that anybody should be looking at. You mentioned Chiesa as Salah's backup at Liverpool.
Yeah,
I don't even remember what they paid for him.
They didn't pay a lot.
I didn't think it was. I didn't think
he's
it was
also earning 3 times as much as Benweke is.
I mean, so I guess
it ends up being more.
All right. Well, somebody argued with me today that they said, well, he's not coming in to stay on the same salary that he's playing for at Chelsea. So they're like, oh, he's going to double his salary. He's not doubling his salary. It's £50,000 a week.
Yeah.
But I get needing to spend I understand the going rate for a backup winger, for a backup attacker. 52 million pounds ain't it? 52 million pounds on a guy that had 9 goal contributions
10
last season. 10, okay. 10 goal contributions across 32 Premier League matches. Or was that 10?
I know he started 27. It might have been 32, like with subs, but I know he started.
It's definitely 27. Not 32 total appearances. It's more than that. But I think across all comps, he had 10 goal contributions.
He started 27 Premier League games. If I'm not.
And again, I'm playing a bit of devil's advocate here. To look, it's not my money. If they want to spend 52 million pounds on the guy, 47, God bless. Off you go. It's not my money. I at the end of the day, I will care if other things don't happen, and everything has gone quiet on the other 2 fronts, other than people saying there's no news. But 52 million just sounds like a lot of money. And if there's another target out there that we don't get because we don't have the money to do it, here you are. And I feel like we jumped at an opportunity. A player was presented to us, and Chelsea was like, hey, you can have him for 50 million. And we were just like, oh, yeah, okay. There was no negotiation. But meanwhile, we're gonna pinch pennies on Gyökeres, right? We're gonna haggle over 2 million pounds or 2 million euros, whatever it is. So that makes no sense to me. I just don't see him being worth 52 million pounds to be a full-time backup. And he will not earn the starting role on either wing. He will not do. I'm
okay.
I'll tell you okay. This is why. Not because I don't think he can, not because I don't think he's good enough, because by all accounts, there is if I am getting loud, by the way, please tell me to reel it in if you feel like I'm too loud in your ear.
No, you're fine.
If anybody in the chat thinks I'm too loud, I would tell you to turn your volume down, but I tend to get a little worked up.
Oh, you don't say.
Oh, you don't say. Who's to say? I don't think he will earn the starting job on either wing for 2 reasons. I do think that Mikel Arteta is married to Gabriel Martinelli starting on the left. Mm-hmm. And I think Mikel Arteta is married to a right-footed left winger, which he is not. So it's not to say that he's not talented enough to do it. And I'll throw one more thing out at you in terms of why I don't think he'll earn the starting role. He was dropped, I believe, 6 times across all competitions last season for Chelsea by Maresca for technical reasons. He is not
60 players.
Well, this is coming from 2 separate. It would take me a minute to pull them up. They write for The Athletic, but they're Chelsea beat writers for The Athletic. Both of them have said, look, he's not the greatest training. He's not the greatest guy in training. And that's like saying a guy isn't the greatest in the gym. I don't need you to be great in the gym. I need you to be great, but I need you to be great in games. But you've also got to put in the work and put in the effort in training to try to make that difference. So that worries me. And he knows he's coming in to be a backup. So what's his motivation? Because he seems to be a little skint on motivation to begin with. Now he's coming into play to knowing he's not going to unseat Bukayo Saka. So what's his motivation? Off you go. You're laughing at me.
No. So, I wanted to stop you, but I
was on a roll.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best you're going to do probably all night. But
easy.
I kind of wanted to,
that's like dancing at my senior prom. It's the best I'm going to do all night.
So for Madueke, I kind of wanted to break it down. I should have talked to you this before the show. But I kind of wanted to break it down just based on the cons that everyone's saying. Not necessarily, again, I just want to state this is not the cons that BG is saying. This is the cons that I'm reading. And if you have another one, we'll add it and we could talk about it. It's kind of how I did my notes. So the cons I have for him are attitude, cost $52 million, which I'll get to those two because you kind of already talked about it. The sequence of events, Chelsea, that he's from Chelsea, and the pathway to, I was about to say El Neni because I have EN here. The pathway to Nwaneri. He blocking the pathway to Nwaneri. So I mean, I guess attitudes for me is like easy. I'll tag that right away. We've had issues at this club regarding attitude, regarding bullying, regarding players not wanting to train, showing up late. You know, we talk about specific examples. The video that has surfaced, the internets for however long, of Lucas Torreira getting a little baby outfit. I forgot who gave it to him, but like, it was someone I actually kind of like. I don't remember who it was, but whatever. That's all over the internet, and he's like laughing, but you could tell he's like kind of like, you know, he's getting bullied. Yeah. And obviously, it turns out he didn't adapt well to London. I don't think it was just the weather, Lucas. But yeah, so it's an issue. So I think it's something that, you know, we need to improve, and Arteta needs to know that. And again, something that I will bring up. It just so happens that a lot of them are Chelsea players that we signed. Arteta has brought in a lot of players to try to help fix the culture. And he's also paid off problems to leave. Aubameyang, Ozil. Pepe wasn't really a behavior issue, but still, we're not afraid to pay the problems off, which, again, I get that. We don't want to do. I don't think Madueke is going to be that an issue. Arteta, it has been said across multiple sources and articles that Arteta is the one pushing the signing, not Berta, not anyone. It's Arteta. So this is Arteta's project, I guess, a mini project, so to speak. You think Arteta wouldn't push to sign him if he had known he's got an actual attitude problem? You know, and if people talk about if you don't train well, you don't play. Again, if Arteta knew he didn't train well, you think Arteta would have pushed to sign him? No. So I'm gonna have to side with Arteta on this one. I think he knows better than all of us, and you know, in what we read and what we see. So again, on him, as opposed to the $52 million. I agree somewhat. It's a lot of money, but he's a starting. I mean, again, let's keep in mind Chelsea have enough for 3 teams. So in my opinion, he didn't start every game, but he's a starter for me. He is, just based on how many players I have. A starter on a top 4 Premier League club team. That's honestly, I think that's cheap for what you're going to pay for. Now Chelsea has to sell players to get under the whatever rules, they can register players for the UEFA competitions. I get that, so they kind of needed to sell. So they were not too hesitant to keep him. So he's 50. So in coming to us, he's going to earn $50K a week. That turns out to roughly $12.5 million a year. And if you look at like players that we were trying to sign in the Premier League, again, I'm not saying you said that these players or whoever, but these were players that were being thrown at us that people wanted. Kudos. He just got sold to Tottenham for $55 million. It's a little bit more. He's on at least $150K a week. I think he's going to be on $150K a week. That's $18.5 million a year. And to me, I think Kudos is more of an aggressive runner, but I don't really see a huge difference between him and Madueke. And you can argue that, but I don't think there's a clear-cut winner. Honestly, if you go to stats say Madueke is a better player. But whatever, fine. Another player people wanted us to sign, Bryan Mbeumo. Everyone's like, oh, we love him. He's a little older. he's looking to get sold for like 60 million, which is more, and he's going to be on around 220K a week. That's 500, so it ends up being 22 million a year. So again, he's the cheapest option out of the players that we've been linked with, and I don't think he is I don't think he's the third best out of that list. I think Mbeumo is good. He was good on a Brentford team that was very well coached, which again, very scared that Thomas Frank went to Tottenham. I think he's a tremendous manager. But I think Mbeumo benefited from the him and Wiesa partnership. I thought they were one of the best partnerships in the Premier League. And I think that Mbeumo is more of a second striker type player. I don't think he's really a winger. Mm-hmm. He played wing, but I don't really like him on the outside. I like him going to.
I mean, he and Wiesa kind of all but play like a two-headed striker kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of system at Brentford under Thomas Frank.
And again, I think Mbeumo's a great player. I'm not saying Kudos is a bad player either. But when you look at the salaries that these players are getting, this is what the going rate is, and I still think we are out of those three options. Or you know what? Fuck it. Let's throw Rodrigo in there because everyone wants to compare Nweke to Rodrigo. Rodrigo currently at Real Madrid is on 240K a week. That's almost 5 times as much as we're paying Nweke. So and I'm sorry, but anyone that wants to sit here and try to convince me that Rodrigo is even twice as good as Nweke, you have nothing to show for it. He had a shitty season last year. I get it. He doesn't want to play on the right wing, and he's terrible on the right wing. Nweke can play both sides. I don't think. And again, to be honest, I'm a little biased because I think seeing all the negative crap I've seen about Nweke, I'm like planting my flag saying he's a better player than Rodrigo. And I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you he is. That's just how I feel. But to say Rodrigo's twice the player when he's earning 5 times as much a week, I think is asinine, and you can't prove it. I'm also not a big Rodrigo guy. That's another thing that impacts this. Getting paid 5 times as much. He's not playing for Real Madrid. He doesn't want to play right wing. He can only play on the left. I don't know if it's a big upgrade. And like you just said to me, and I somewhat agree with you, I think Arteta is somewhat married to Martinelli. I just have this sneaky feeling because I think if we really want to upgrade on Martinelli, I think we would have been linked with and like already signed a left winger or been like heavily linked with a left winger. And yeah, I think that's a good point too. Now, do I think he's going to take? Do I think Nweke is going to take Saka's spot? And I don't. But every player is going to have their own, have their own type of confidence, and I think that every player is going to strive to do the best no matter what. And I think Nweke thinks he could take Saka's spot. I do. Will he is a different story. But yeah, no, I mean,
well,
yeah, I mean, it's pretty much it. Again. 50K a week is such a bargain for a player.
Let me put a spin on the wages thing. What you just brought up. So, there's no other left wing that I can think of that. I'll be honest. I can't. There's not a right wing that I can think of that would be available to do what Madueke is going to come in supposedly to do, which is to cover Saka. I don't know that there's a left wing available for a better price that is roughly the same player as Rodrigo.
Also, real quick, there's multiple articles, and Mikey was asking from Mikey Hers in the chat. I was asking for my receipts, and I gave him some receipts, asking who said this, but there's been multiple articles that say Arteta's trying to take Nweke and make him into a left winger. Now, again, going back to what you were saying, which I agree with, we've never had a left winger that's lefty and all that. I get that. But I think there's opportunity for Nweke to really flourish. And yeah, thank you, Chisholm. Chisholm? Yeah, I'm going to say Chisholm. That's another thing. Talking about PSG. The reason why they won the Champions League, the reason why they are as good as they are, is
They finally figured out that they needed to be a team and not a collection of superstars.
Not even that. They're really good at carrying and progressing the ball and creating from the wings. It's a team. I think they were probably the best at it. You know, someone like a Dembele who started in the middle. He came from when he scored against us in the first legs.
Talk about a player coming good.
Yeah, so coming from that was someone I wanted when he was in Dortmund.
Oh,
I really would have. But his injury record is just not great.
Yeah.
I think. Oh no, just real quick. I'm just gonna say PSG is just really good at progressing the ball, creating stuff from the wings, and that's something that I think we're trying to do. That's just the new way of football. I think.
I mean, they're night and day. And that's something. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just saying that's what Madueke is good at. So, I think.
Well, to Chisholm's point that he made about, I think this was it. He's a dribbler, and he's going to go at people one-on-one. Before we get back into that, let me finish my point on comparing wages of Rodrigo and Madueke. I think that there is also this idea that I think you made this. I don't know if you made it. You didn't make it tonight, I don't think. Maybe you did in a roundabout way, but you definitely made this point to me over the past 4 days, give or take, of perhaps the fee. Perhaps we're willing to pay the fee we're paying because of the wage. Exactly. Yeah. So let me take that a step further now, if I may, and relate that to Rodrigo. If we are serious about it, and I have not really seen anything that is a serious link to Rodrigo other than, hey, we're interested because it doesn't seem like he has a future under Xabi Alonso. We're interested, but we're interested at a price. So which is more important to him? Playing time? Does he want to play, or does he want to get paid? Because he's probably not going to get $240 a week here. Maybe Madrid get 90 from us for him. I would say euros, because I believe that's what I keep seeing the 90 million euros, which is roughly, I'm going to say 75, 78 million pounds. But there's no way he's going to get $240 a week. He'd be the second highest earner at the club if that were the case.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You think he's going to get a pay cut to join us? I don't.
So that's my question. My question is, do you want to play? Because if he comes here, I think he comes in and automatically. I shouldn't say automatically, because we both just agreed that we think that Arteta is a bit married to Martinelli on the left. But Rodrigo, I think, is a better player than Martinelli. On their day, I think Rodrigo is a better player. I think the comparison of Rodrigo
on both of their days.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Rodrigo's a better player. Here's the thing. But hear me out.
I still would lean Rodrigo,
but hear me out. I think the comparison being made between Rodrigo and Madueke coming in, they're not coming in to play the same position. The fear, and this is what this all boils down to. Anybody that's in my camp about being reluctant to get fired up about this move is the money. Are we with that kind of a fee? Is the money still available to go and get a guy like a Rodrigo? Because I don't know that there's anyone else out there available that is going to come in and that we're going to look at and basically say, okay, this guy really kind of has to screw the pooch if he doesn't take the starting job. But I think that the comparison of Madueke to Rodrigo, Madueke is coming in to be a backup. Rodrigo would come in to be a starter. Madueke is not going to start at left wing. He's just not, for the reasons we already laid out at the very beginning.
Right now? Oh, yeah.
I'm out. I shouldn't say out of necessity. He might, but he's maybe played 10 games at left wing out of 100. Something crazy like that. Now, I don't. I kind of did a deep dive last night. If anybody follows me on Twitter and you actually saw it, if it came up, on wages, and I just went just purely wages. You're good, you.
That would never happen because Rodrigo can't play both wings. So
right, and that's and while Madueke can play on the left, it's not ideal. I don't think anybody wants him playing on the left. That's not what he's coming in to do.
I think I'm not going to name names. I think certain people that I've spoken to with like a whole host of other options in Martinelli. So I mean, I think there are people out there that want to play. Me, I don't know. I want to see. I need to see him play in an Arsenal shirt first.
I like what Madueke brings in terms of the taking a defender on 1v1. Excuse me. Getting a shot off. And there have been a lot of, stats and graphics about his ability to get a shot off after taking on a defender 1v1, which is something that Martinelli does not do. But the question is he going to do it on the left? He can shoot with both feet, but can he create enough on the left as a left footer? Can he get it back into the middle to get a better angle on his right foot? He can shoot with both feet, but can he get it back to a better angle on his right foot to get that shot off from the left? I don't know. I've brought myself around more to being more on board with this than what I was originally. But at the end of the day, for me, it comes down to I don't like his attitude. Now, let me cover that real quick because I wanted to interrupt you, but
no, it's fine. When we go through the points, I figured.
Do you want me to wait?
Well, no. I would say we'll talk about attitude. You'll say something. I'll say something. If you have a counterpoint, fucking go for it. I mean, you can counterpoint that now. I just figured it'd be easier.
The one. So, by all accounts, his attitude at PSV was great.
Mm-hmm.
He got to Chelsea, the attitude changed. So, what changed?
I wonder why.
Well, okay? If it is all of those players, then why come to Chelsea? It's not like it wasn't happening. It's not like he was the first through the door, and then all of a sudden it was like, wait, why'd you just buy 17 more right wingers? Am I not good enough for you? This was a revolving door of attacking players. He was in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's not like it shouldn't have come as a surprise. So if you didn't want to fight for your place, well, then why come to Chelsea? Why go to Chelsea? Why leave PSV? There's a whole other rabbit hole that I could go down.
I think I think like many players just want to come to the Premier League, and I think
I can.
And we could sit here and name a bunch of examples in the last few years. They'll come and they'll play for anybody. Oh, you're in England. You're in the Premier League. Yeah. Brentford, Sunderland. Yeah, sign me up. I'm good. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. It's a dream for a lot of players. So I mean, and let's face it too. Like when you're in your early 20s, you don't make the best decisions. So I mean, I get it. Can he, Mike?
The attitude thing.
Talk about attitude.
As it relates to him being here at Arsenal, I do think that there are strong enough personalities in our dressing room from a player standpoint that they can reel him in. That it'll be like, whoa. Hey, come here there, cuzzo. I need you to, let's we're going to open the show with some pro wrestling. Let's keep it going. I need you to know your role and shut your mouth. That'll be Declan Rice. That'll be Big Gabby.
I mean, honestly, it'll be everybody. I mean, let's face again. I
don't think Mark Nodegaard is that vocal, but I think Declan Rice is. I think Big Gabby would be that vocal to be like, whoa.
Yeah, but they're at the end of the day, they're a team. They're all going to defend each other. So, like, I'm not saying
right
up to them.
So from the attitude standpoint, I think we have a better. I said this the other day. I think we have a better leadership hierarchy at our club than it was Reece James. I don't know who was there. Who was captain for them when he was hurt? I don't even know. Was it Cole Palmer? Was it? I don't like that. So not to say that I do pay attention to Chelsea a lot. I don't, but it's like, I know that Reece James is captain when he's healthy. I don't know who the captain is when he's not. And if it's Cole Harbor, it's Cole Harbor.
It's not Cole Palmer.
I just said Cole Harbor. Sidney Crosby much? Cole Palmer, is that not sort of the inmates running the asylum at Chelsea? And I do kind of think that might be a little
Enzo
bit of
Fernandez.
Case. Okay. All right. So, so I'm not far off with it.
Someone who's got problems and behavior issues of his own. So.
Right. So inmates running the asylum at Chelsea. And look, hey, you know what? And I'll say this too. And we're going to hit your bullet points. You did a much better job of this than what I did. So I'm going to say this at the end of all of this. I want him to do well here. I think that the situation that he's coming into can benefit him, can make him a better player. I hope I'm right. I hope that Arteta is right with this. I had something here and I just totally lost my train. I got to start writing shit down, man. All right, you want to go in on his attitude, or you want to move on?
I don't
think I have anything else. I don't think
the only thing I want to. I guess this kind of ties into the $52 million too, and it's again, people want to talk shit. And
I know what it was.
Go.
Thank you. I also think that there may be a bit of, I need to get away from here to further my career, not just because of the logjam that they have in terms of attacking players, but maybe he senses that the dressing room is toxic over there. We've seen the pictures with Declan Rice, with Bukayo Saka, with Eze. Obviously, we'll get there in a little bit. But I think all of that, he looks at like, okay, these are my people. You know what I mean? Like, let me get in there. And the only thing there that I would question would be, here again, why does it seem like we didn't really haggle price with Chelsea? So I'm kind of marrying attitude and price together at this point. But
yeah,
did he go to his agent, say, look, I need a change of scenery. I got to get out of here. For whatever reason, I got to get out of here. And his agent goes to Chelsea, says, look, you guys are bringing in, you insert your attacking player here. All the players they're bringing in, look, it's time for us to move on. We're not really interested in trying to compete with 15 other guys for a job. And, who knows who's going to start week in, week out. We need a change of scenery. Can we seek out a team that's willing to, bring us in? In other words, can we find a dance partner? Agent said, Chelsea grants permission, because the first thing we heard was that personal terms were agreed. There was like, hey, Arsenal are interested in Nani Madueke. And then it was, personal terms have been agreed already. Now it's down to the clubs. That was a week ago. So I'm thinking this is the way this kind of went. He was basically offered up to Arsenal, and we're like, yeah, we'll bring him in. We need cover for Saka. What's the price? And it was, okay, we'll give you the 42 plus 10, but you got to stay on your 50K a week. So maybe the attitude, like I said, it changes when he gets here, with a dressing room that is a bit more mature.
Yeah, mature, cultured, however you want to put it. They're gonna. He's low man. Let's say I hate bringing money into. Oh no, I'm going through money into this, because I think that's like kind of the crux of a lot of this conversation. People harping on the 52 million. So I'm going to harp on the 50K a week, because that to me is more important. A one-time fee over a weekly wage. But so the only people that are earning less at this club currently than Madueke would be Miles Skelly, who just got a contract extension. So he actually might be earning more than 50K a week. I don't know the numbers yet, because the contract just went through. That and Ethan Nwaneri, who, again, is looking to extend his contract. So even he might be getting more than Nwaneri. So, just from a money standpoint, he is the lowest earner at the club. He's a low man on the totem pole. He's coming into this new team with an established culture, maturity about them, a swagger about them. I don't think his attitude is going to be an issue. And if it becomes an issue, then trust me, I think with the players we have, it'll get checked real quick. So again, and it goes back to to finish my attitude point, Arteta wouldn't have pushed to sign him if he thought this was going to be an iota of an issue.
What else you got? Bullet points.
All right. I guess I'll go in order of way I have it. I put sequence of advanced. I can't speak.
Sequence of
events. I guess I'll quickly start. It's just universally known that the easiest transfers are always done first. I mean, you look at our transfers this season. Kepa, backup goalie, $5 million, very easy, couple bucks, very easy, quick and done deal. It was a no-brainer. It's a very good business. It was easy. Premier League proven player, going to be our backup. Awesome, done. Norgard. He just signed an extension. He was quoted at $45 million for Tottenham, yet we're signing him for $10 million. A lot of people are talking and saying that when he signed his extension, he kind of told Brentford, "Hey, if one or two teams come in for me, you'll let me go for X amount of money." And they probably agreed, whatever. So he extended. We got him for what, $12 million? But again, a veteran, 30-year-old midfielder, kind of like a Jorginho type player. Well, he doesn't play like Jorginho, but you know what I mean, like a vet, an older leader of another team. Easy peasy, $10 million, good business. And then you look at Zubimendi, who was done in January because, again, talks that we went in for Mourinho and we kind of told Real Sociedad, hey, we're kind of eyeing the Zubimendi guy. And Arteta spoke to him. He was more intrigued by the project than Liverpool. And yes, that came out. That's why Liverpool didn't sign him. We kind of came in when we came in for Mourinho, and Zubimendi was more intrigued with us than he was with Liverpool. Suck it. That was 6 months in the making. So yeah, easy signings. And then you look at someone like a striker who we have been in talks with apparently for like years, with Sesko, with Gyökeres. We don't know what we're doing. Reports are coming out that Gyökeres is now not going to preseason for Sporting. It's a big money deal. It takes time. I think Sporting are a very stubborn club to deal with. Thank you, Michael. I actually agree with that statement. Thank you. Sporting, they're being very stubborn. They're staying fit on what they're doing, firm on their price. And Gyökeres is like, all right, cool. I'm not showing up to training, so you guys figure it out. But again, it's their best player. It's a superstar. He put up record numbers. It's going to take time. And I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. I'm not saying it's definitely not going to happen. But things like this take time. And then when you look at like a Rodrigo who might sign for us, $90 million is not something you find under the couch. It's not going to just be like, we want you, $90 million. Cool. What?
I might have $90 million under my couch.
Maybe. You never know.
Who's to say?
Yeah, and again, I think we just made a deal for Madueke, who it was easy because we know Chelsea's trying to get rid of players. We have, despite what people want to say, and trust me, we're going to get into Chelsea, but we do have a relatively good working relationship with them as far as like buying and selling players, or I guess more buying players than them. So I think it was a little bit easier. But yeah, like the starting 11 players, obviously bar Zubimendi, but that was also, again, 6 months in the making, and Zubi wasn't really lighting the world on fire. I think like this season, people were noticing him, but again, like to come into a top Premier League club and be in the starting 11, it's possible, but it's not like a sure thing. I mean, to be fair, none of these are sure things, but I think a deal like this just takes time. So, sorry. Lastly, I forget. For me, my important signing is Eze. For people that are unaware, Palace was going through a little bit of a thing with the UEFA board because who is it? Lyon owns them. Yeah, Lyon. Yeah. So people were protesting like they shouldn't be in the Europa League conflict of interest. So it just got announced today that they got bumped down in the Conference League, and Nottingham Forest took their spot, that's going to be interesting because Nottingham Forest is losing their players at will. But
right.
So maybe that'll push the Eze deal further through because like now they're down a competition, or I guess they're demoting to another competition. So hopefully that'll increase the deal. But again, like that's their star player. That's someone who they were kind of building the team around. So I mean, that's going to be someone who's going to be very tough to leave. But again, as I've talked about before, Crystal Palace still own us for Eddie and Kenya. So hopefully they'll hook us up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean that's really all I had for the sequence of events.
Well, so this is my big sticking point, and I think that this is Real Ryan's probably big sticking point as well. If we get in, now I don't know where Real Ryan comes down on this, but I'm going to throw this out there. If we land, here it is. Chisholm, perfect timing. If those two come in first, and then Madueke comes in, I'm good.
That's what that would be. And again, someone who loves the Madueke signing and like thinks it's a good signing and everything. I'm in the same boat as everyone else with that. Yeah, but that's just not how the world works. Like people, people need to understand that.
Well, and what everybody has said is, well, it's the easier of the deal, so it got done. Okay, I get. Listen, it's not a matter of me saying, oh, well, because he came in first, that's not what I wanted. Like that's crying over spilled milk. I'm not going to do that. At the end of the window, if we get both of those guys, at the end of all of this, we get both. I don't give a shit what order they came in. I want those two players now. And it's funny, too. I'm going to throw this out there. How I would love to talk to someone who doesn't have social media, but follows the game closely enough to be able to say, without any preconceived notions, without any sort of preemptive rumor, news, whatever you want to, however I want to word this. I would love to talk to someone like that and have them tell me, who do you think Arsenal should target? Because all of these names, we get enamored with these names. Look, I love Eberechi Eze. I think the world of him. And I actually think that of all of these potential signings, that he could be the best one. I think he could be the best of all of these signings.
Yeah, I agree. No, I 100% agree with you.
I mean, Gyökeres coming in, and I don't want to get too sidetracked here. I want to stay on sequence of events, but let me sidebar just real quick. Can he score 20 goals? I think he can, yeah. But I think Eberechi, let me rephrase how I say, I think Eberechi Eze, if we could bring him in, I think he would be more of the missing piece to what we want and what we need than Gyökeres. That's not to say that we don't need Gyökeres. I think that Eze coming in does more for us and raises our ceiling more so than Gyökeres does. I think Eberechi Eze has a chance to come in here and really, really open up our attack. Because at the end of the day, let's face it, what's our biggest problem in attack? We can't shoot.
Down low blocks.
Breaking down low block. Breaking down.
And shooting. Two things that Ben
Wickham said. And that's exactly where I was going with it. That's exactly where I was going with it.
That's great. It's almost like they scouted him.
Right. Nah. Yeah, right. Yeah, what's scouting? What's that?
Yeah, what's that? That's crazy.
I do firmly believe that. But sequence of events is important here. In so far as the way that this is going, in my opinion, I said this last night. It's fear. I have a fear, and I think it's rational, of knowing what it is that we need, and now having players seriously linked with what we're trying to do, okay, bringing these players in, and then not getting them because we spent 50 million pounds on a backup. That's the fear. The fear is, hey, there's 250 million pounds in the war chest to work with here. And then did we leave 120 of it in the war chest because we didn't spend 250 million? So that's my fear, is that this signing, because of the price tag, regardless of the wages, because I think the two things are separate. I think Arsenal have. I think most.
That's another thing too. As far as the window is concerned, I agree.
This is the wage budget. This is the transfer budget. The two don't overlap.
I think they overlap when talking about the player. I don't think they overlap as far as talking. So we're talking about the signing in this transfer window, and like what you're saying, talking about other signings, and the 52 million matters more because of. But the reason why it is 52 million, but then when you dive into it. The reason why he's 52 million is because of his wages. So it explains the 52, but I agree with you. I agree when we're talking solely about this transfer window right now and who we're bringing in, then the 50K a week does not matter. I agree.
I just kind of, like I said, I kind of think that I think yes, I agree, and it's I hear what you're saying, but I still think that there's a separation of the two budgets. But sequence of events, right? That's what we were on. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good there.
No, yeah, you're good. I just want to.
That's really.
I think the fear is rational, and I think for me it just comes down to
I have FOMO. I have FOMO because of the transfer fee.
This isn't. I'm not taking a shot at you. I'm not. This isn't.
I've taken
an insult here, but I agree with. I don't agree. I understand your rationale. That's just not me. I'm not impatient. I like to think I'm a relatively patient person to an extent. So I'm willing to let this flush out. I'm not going to go to Twitter and freak out over the signing. Because it prevents other signings when we don't even know what other signings are happening because we have a little under 2 months left in this window. Yeah. So I think it's just weird. I just think to go.
Do you know exactly the date that it closes? Is it September 1st?
No, I thought
it was a week into September. 8th. Yeah, I was going to say it's a week into September, isn't it?
I'm
Anybody in the chat know? Throw it up there. Chisholm, real quick. Yes, they overlap, but I think you look at them. I think clubs look at them separately.
Oh no, it is September 1st. Oh no. Wait.
I think clubs will look at their transfer budget and say, we have 200 million pounds to spend on transfer fees, and we have, 25 million pounds to spend on wages. I don't think they mix. I don't know. I'm speculating. I just don't think they mix. Now, I think perhaps at the end, if you're coming up to the end of a transfer window, you may look at your wage budget and say, boy, oh boy, we've got a surplus. Maybe we didn't hit all of our transfer targets, or, hey, we did some good business. We got our transfer targets in for less than what we wanted, less than what we had budgeted for. Or either way, you just basically say, I've got money left here, and I kind of want to make one more move, but because I've saved money here, I can move a little bit of money over here, and I think there can be a little bit of robbing Peter to pay Paul.
And again, this is my opinion. I don't know if this is factual or not, but from the way I see it, I think they overlap for a majority of things. The only time I don't think they overlap was when it comes to owners. I don't think the owners really look at pay structures and paying wages per week, but when a Kroenke has to fork over money to pay for a signing, I think that's when they're like, oh, I have to pay that much. Okay, they'll determine it that way. Yeah. But I think they do though normally overlap.
Yeah.
But I think again, if you're an owner of a club, I think most of the Twitterverse think they own this club because when they say 52, they freak out. But then it's no, but he's going to be the lowest paid player.
One of the lowest paid, yeah.
Only academy kids are getting paid less than him. So it's Okay.
What's your next bullet point here? What do you got?
I know I'm going to save the most for last. I'm going to save Chelsea for last because I have so much for Chelsea. It's like takes up one and a half whole board.
I would love to hear what you have on that because I don't have anything.
I have so much. We'll go that last.
All right.
Pathway to Ethan Nwaneri.
Thank God you brought this.
That's what people are talking about.
This is the other big sticking point for me.
Okay. Well, Nwaneri is a player that likes tight spaces. He likes to play in the interior. He's not a Saka type player. He scores Saka-esque goals, but he doesn't get chalk on his boots. He likes to move inside. He likes to play in tight spaces, make the passes. Now it's interesting because people say like, oh, he's a 10 when he's in the academy. He played as a 10. I don't know if he's not a creator, which is interesting. But he likes to play in the interior. He loves the interior, and again, multiple places have said Arteta is trying to bet him in the 8-10 role. They want him in the middle of the pitch. They want him in the interior. So I'm going to, again, trust the multiple sources that say it, the multiple places of Arteta, the articles, everything that say they want to put in the interior. Madueke has nothing to do with the interior. Madueke is the guy on the wings. So to me, the player that's going to block Ethan Nwaneri is going to be Eze, who we all want. But again, I will still humor the fact that people think that Nwaneri is Saka's backup and not in the middle of the pitch. Again, and I said this on the last show, so I feel like this is a little bit of repeating myself. But Sterling played more than Nwaneri. When the season kind of was coming to a close, and I think we were still in the title hunt even, or maybe we were just coming out of it. I don't know, but injuries were happening. This is like, okay, this is Ethan's time, and I've texted you. I've texted multiple people while I was live watching it. Oh, this is where we bring Nwaneri on. Okay, we'll bring him on now. And even when the title race is over, I was like, all right, well, we have to play Nwaneri now because let's just see what he's got. If he sucks, he sucks. It is what it is. We're not playing for anything. We still brought on a absolutely, I don't even know what to call
shell of himself.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say because I mean he's won things. He was a great player, so I'm not gonna talk smack on him.
He just never fit in.
He was,
for whatever reason, he just didn't fit
in my opinion, he's one of the worst signings I've seen. Honestly, the only signing I think of that was worse was when we brought in Dennis Suarez.
That was the first. Like at the end of all of it, I'm like, who does he remind me of? Like, what signing did that remind? Was Dennis Suarez?
I I almost preferred Dennis Suarez because at least I'd have to watch him play. But yeah, no, he was bad. But again, he was getting minutes over 1 year. And you would think like, do I try to push a 17, 18-year-old to get minutes and to kind of bet him in and to kind of get him acquainted with the Premier League, or do I play a player who I know has nothing left? Because he did play a lot, Raheem Sterling, for us when he was in the team. I mean, it seemed like a lot, anyways. And he didn't. Nwaneri didn't play, and that's another thing too. He's also 18, so I get it. And I think people have like this thing that he's like the next Saka. He's only 18. We have time. Is his pathway blocked? I think it would be blocked if we brought Eze in.
Yes.
Because he plays the A10. So like I understand that, but again, like, do supporters care more about winning trophies or bringing up one Hale End kid? And I get it. Like, people are biased and they want every Hale End graduate to succeed. They want all the Hale End boys to have prospering careers, and I get that. And obviously I have a soft spot for him, and I want him to succeed as well. But at the end of the day, like, you can't focus on one academy player and then sit here and be like, oh well, I want to win trophies. I want to win this thing. And to win trophies, you're going to need to bring in players like Madueke to come off the bench, players like Eze to either start or come off the bench.
Okay, well here's my argument. Yeah. Go ahead, finish your thought, and then I'll.
No, and I was going to say, like, also, like, you could even tell too, he was struggling physically, so he's got to bulk up. So I'm not saying he shouldn't play at all next season, but like, he needs a lot more time to develop. Yes, he came on the scene early, but that's fine. That means he has time to kind of grow and maybe not play, but be with the first team for a while. So, I'm personally not worried about it. If he really wants to play for Arsenal, which is what he's been saying and his agent's saying and everyone's saying, then he's going to sign. I don't think he's going to leave. But yeah, I mean,
my rebuttal to the playing time thing, and okay, well, if we don't want to play him because he's so young, then explain Miles Lewis Skelly, roughly the same age. Lewis Skelly's a tick older by like a few months, but they're both 17, 18. Lewis Skelly just played, and he just took. Now, that's not to say that Nwaneri. Okay, if the rebuttal is, well, Nwaneri didn't do that. Well, the Nwaneri was also didn't do what Miles Lewis Skelly did, which was just kind of go out there and play so well right off the bat. But I don't think he could have played well enough to unseat two of our best players in Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka. I don't think he's ready to play the 8 yet. I don't think he's ready to do that. And I also think that playing left, well, I'm gonna talk out of both sides of my mouth here, because I also think that defenders develop later in their careers. I just think that, forwards and attacking players, they're in their prime in their early to mid 20s, where I think defenders are in their prime in their mid 20s to like early 30s.
But Lewis Skelly's not a defender.
Well, and that's true too. So that was the caveat to that point, really. But I just, so the Ethan Nwaneri thing, it's, yes, if we're bringing in both of these players, and Eze is rumored to have agreed a 4-year contract with an option for a 5th, he can play either left or right 8, because I guess that's what we're calling it now, as opposed to a 10. It's really,
which I think that would,
it's not a 10. It's a left or a right 8, really, is what it is. It's not a traditional 10.
I was going to say a right 8 would probably be better to suit Nwaneri than an actual 10, even though, like, yeah, he wants to play right 8 is pretty much that.
But to bring in Eze and Madueke, and then say that, like, well, where does Ethan get his minutes then? So does this mean that Ethan is going to sign a new contract and then go out on loan? Is that how we're going to get him his playing time? Because this is not I'm in love with Ethan Nwaneri, I'm in love with the Hale End, I want all of the Hale End boys to succeed. Sure, of course, yes, I do. Like you said, I think we all do. But there's a player there, and we need to look. We've been really bad forever at selling players, at developing players, and then being able to sell them on. All right. Well, Liverpool didn't exactly develop Philippe Coutinho, but in sort of in that vein, to be able to take a player of that stature, and we're not going to sell Bukayo Saka. Okay. But, is there a world that we live in where Ethan Nwaneri develops into a world-class player, and we're just on the precipice of, which I think we are now. But if we say we regress a little bit, and we need that one player, we need 2 players, but we've got to sell somebody, because we've got to raise, 130 million pounds in funds to be able to go out and buy 2 or 3 players that are going to put us over the edge. That player is Ethan Nwaneri, hypothetically speaking. So now it almost looks like where does he develop now? And I'm not saying that he is great on the right. I don't think he looked out of place. I think he made mistakes, and I think he's young. But I don't think he looked out of place. I don't think it was so bad. And this is where I wish we could get Arteta in a room, fill him with truth serum, and be like, why did Sterling play over Ethan Nwaneri? Why?
You're not going to like what I have to say.
Okay, well, okay. I mean, I have no hypothesis on this whatsoever. The only thing, if I had to, like, right now, on, like, right off the cuff here, the only thing I could come up with is, does he look tired in training? Because I don't see anything else. I in no world at the end of last season, when Sterling was getting minutes ahead of Nwaneri, do I see a better player? Did I see a better player in Raheem Sterling than I saw in Ethan Nwaneri? Could it be in those moments Arteta just wanted the experience? Hey, I want somebody that I can at least. He's not gonna screw me. He's not gonna make a boneheaded play. Raheem Sterling just looked lost, but I don't really remember him making a lot of egregious errors that led to breaks the other way. But with Ethan, I would really like to know. So, what is your what you're thinking on this?
Honestly, and people aren't going to want to hear this, but I think he did look out of place. If we're going to win trophies and we're going to be in the Champions League final and win the Champions League, if we're going to win the Premier League, Ethan Nwaneri is not near our starting 11. I don't think he's ready. I think he has no physicality to him, which is what you need.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I know.
But again, but does that mean that he looks out of place? I'm not saying, again,
for a Premier League winning team and a Champions League caliber team, I don't think he fits. I don't think he's ready yet.
But he does, because we were okay. Massive.
Now, is he better than Sterling? That's a different argument.
Massive catastrophic injuries to our best players last season,
and he still didn't play.
So I guess that's kind of the point then that you're making, is that he didn't play, and we were where we were. Semifinals of the Champions League, runners up again. Granted, we weren't exactly in the title hunt for the last 2 months of the season, but we were there and he played.
I can still be a good player and not be ready. He's just not ready.
I can. He's not ready for what? Be specific
to be an important player for Arsenal and to win to be an important player for a trophy-winning Arsenal team.
So you're basically saying, again, to bring this back to Madueke, because that's really what the show's kind of about.
Fine, yeah.
So I could, yeah. I mean, I guess I can't really argue your point. But
again, I still think Eze is the one that blocks him. But just for the argument, because people,
I agree with that too. I do agree with that.
Even podcasts like Arsenal Vision, highly regarded podcasts talk about how they'd rather play Nwaneri than Nweke, and I think that's asinine. And I get it. You want Saka to play as much as he can because he is your best player, but you still need insurance policy. Ours was Raheem Sterling, and look where that went. Look where that.
And let me ask you this real quick. And I don't really remember talking about this too much last season. I feel like the Raheem Sterling thing was a grasping at straws kind of thing. I think Chelsea wanted to get him away so that they didn't have to worry about what are we going to do with him. And I just think it was we're stuck and we don't have any other options. And we want to do something. I just kind of feel like that's where that came from. And Sterling played because Arteta sanctioned the signing. Mikey, I don't think he sanctioned as much as accepted it. This is it wasn't planned. So it's well, what was the plan? Because it doesn't look like there was one. It doesn't look like there was a plan at all. So was Raheem Sterling just wait, you want to send Raheem Sterling out on loan? Hey, we'll do it. I guess this is going to tie into the Chelsea thing because.
No, it does.
I just the Ethan thing for me is and I want Eberechi Eze. I want to put that out there full bore. I want Eberechi Eze here. Spoiler, when we do our preseason predictions, Eberechi Eze might be up for a number of preseason awards with me if we get him.
Now, you don't jinx it now. Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm trying. Knock on wood. I don't have any. I guess knock on wood. But I the Ethan thing. I just don't want to see us. I don't want to see us screw a really promising young kid.
I don't want to either, but if it means us winning trophies, then
that's
sorry.
But at the end of the day,
it's not Nwaneri FC, it's Arsenal FC.
But we also
I hate to say it.
Well, but you've got to be able to do both. That's the thing. Like you're
one player. No, you don't. You don't have to
you need to win trophies, but you need to develop players.
You do, but if you're asking me, would I rather have Eze or Ranieri? It's not, or fine Menweke for this argument. I'm going like it's not.
I mean, I'm more.
And it's always been something that some people have said. If you're good enough, you'll play. So this argument that we're having right now means nothing. If you want to talk about developing players and he's blocking his pathway, well, guess what, Ethan? If you're good enough, you're gonna play. And if he's good enough and he plays and he shines, then brilliant. And we signed Eze or Menweke for nothing, brilliant. Prove people wrong. Thank you. Exactly. He's 18. He needs time. That's what I'm saying.
Well, but again, the flip side of this is MLS is 18. He didn't need time apparently.
But again, because he's physical, he's very physical. He's not afraid he knocks people off the ball. He doesn't get knocked off the ball. When Yeri gets knocked off the ball.
Well, and I also
he's not a physical.
And I also think last year with Nwaneri, because he is more of a right 8 and he should deputize for Odegaard, that's where I think that messed with him a little bit because he did early on play very well coming off the right. He played very well coming off the right, and that I think Nwaneri.
Yeah.
And I think
because he moved in because when he was playing for us
because he moved inside, like you just said,
he moved inside. We switched our plan up to forcing the ball down the left side with Trossard. He played he played his best football with Trossard because Trossard was a player who he played very close football, close passing football, interior football, constant movement, and that's where he shined. And that's what I'm saying. He's going to be an A10 player. And sure, if because Miles O'Skelly is a midfielder, we're betting him in as a left back because we need a left back, and he's physically imposing. He's not afraid of a challenge, so that's why he
got bigger as the season.
That's why he stuck around a little bit, and we needed a left back.
Yeah,
and who knows if Saka goes down and Ethan Nwaneri gets physical and shows that he's not to be fucked with, and he's developing the way he needs to. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll start over Menweke at right wing if Saka gets hurt or Saka takes a rest or whatever. Maybe you never know. But
I could certainly see a world against Preston North End in the Carabao Cup that Madueke gets the start. Ethan is deputizes there, and Bukayo Saka just doesn't even get a shirt, and I'd be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
Chelsea. I really want to dive into. I feel like because we're at almost an hour and 15 minutes.
This show has flown. It's crazy.
It has. I'm like what the shit. It's almost 11:30 here on the East Coast. So let's get to Chelsea, and then I think maybe we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. So a big thing that everyone can't seem to muster, which to me, at the end of the day, like I don't care what team he plays for. What team he came from. I made a comment about our Norgard signing and said, thank God he's from Brentford. If he came from Chelsea, our social media would have exploded. It would have been not good if he came from Chelsea.
Can I just say 2 words real quick before you continue?
Yeah.
Sol Campbell.
No, not Chelsea. You are wrong. No, I'm kidding.
No, but you get.
I know what you mean. No. I know what you mean.
So all these people who are like, that's my 2 cents on this, and I'm going to let you go. I don't give a shit. And I said this in the last 2 shows that we did. I think if Harry Kane would have, if there was a chance that Harry Kane would have come to Arsenal and he could make us better, and he would have left and come from, I'm taking him. I don't care who you played for. I care who you play for right now. And if you're going to play for us, then let's go. If you're going to make us better, then let's go.
Yeah.
And so all of these people bitching about this, I've got 2 words for you. Sol Campbell.
I guess I was going to bring this up too, so I'm glad ST made the comment here. Who did Chelsea buy that are better than us? They bought Gittins. Gittins may be better than Martinelli, I guess. Like I wanted him to replace Martinelli. That's
I was big in the Gittins camp too.
But I think I wanted Gittins to replace Martinelli because Gittins is fast. Gittins is still very raw. He's not a guy that's going to come in and light the world on fire. He's a very, very fast player, but I don't see him being a Premier League superstar. So, ST, in the comments, I want you to list all the players that we funded Chelsea to buy that are better than us right now in the starting 11. Because I don't think you Giddens will be better than well. I mean, if Giddens starts, Nano's not going to start, so that's not really a good answer. So keep trying, ST. You got this. I believe in you. So we bought a lot of players from Chelsea. All right, and I'm going to kind of break down all the players we bought first since Petr Cech. I know we bought Gallas and Diarra and all that, but I'm going to kind of stay a little modern here and kind of keep it to like Arteta players. Cech was Emery, but still, I'm starting with Cech anyway.
Cech was Wenger.
Whatever.
Petr Cech came in.
You retired in 2019. That's when we had Emery. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but he was okay.
To me, Cech was the big. That's what I started with. Whatever. And Cole Palmer is where does Cole Palmer fit into the Arsenal 11? João Pedro's got attitude problems. I don't want him anywhere near Arsenal. I'm so happy Chelsea signed him. I do not want João Pedro near the Arsenal team. And Cole Palmer, I think, is overrated. But whatever. Anyways, thank you, Mike. Mike has been such a. Oh, I love you, Mike. Anyways, so we're talking about Petr Cech. So we signed Petr Cech. And this was the infamous transfer window where we signed nobody but Petr Cech pretty much. Or maybe we got a couple loans in for nobodies. Might have been the Denis Suarez one. I don't even know.
No, Denis Suarez came from Real Madrid.
Who?
Denis Suarez.
Yeah,
he came from a Spanish team, not Chelsea.
I think Real Madrid. No, I meant it was the same window. Like when we signed Petr Cech, that was window where we had to. I think we had to sign a striker, and we didn't sign anybody but Cech. So regarded as one of the best Premier League goalies, I think he's a bit overrated, but whatever. He played for us. His first season for Arsenal, got the Gold Glove, and then he helped us win an FA Cup trophy. So he did some good things. I think a reason why he's so soured by the people in Arsenal, and I never bought into the Cech thing, so I was always kind of sour on him. But he pretty much left us after letting 4 goals in the Europa League final. He essentially told the didn't even leave. It was in Baku, right? Yeah, I think it was in Baku.
Yeah.
Yep. He didn't even leave Baku. He told everybody, "Yeah, I'm retiring and I'm going to work for the Chelsea front office." So, I mean, yeah, that would leave it. So I get that. I get the Cech thing, but again, Cech was a Wenger player, whatever, Emery, whatever. So David Luiz. David Luiz was the next player. Great leadership. He was probably the most important player in our back line, and he was the most dependable player in our back line. Now, was he amazing? No. But you look at that back four, what was it? We had Lichtensteiner, Socrates, Mustafi,
Kolasinac.
Like, the list goes on.
It was just Snatch?
Yeah.
Colossus.
All right. But David Luiz kind of set our tactics, in kind of like started shaping our tactics. And, he was the first real ball-playing center back we had. And he kind of at least opened my eyes to different tactics that center backs can play and different ways that we could play as a team and playing from the back and having Luis times carry the ball up into the middle third and sometimes final third. I thought he was very important in our development as a team. Again, he played for a very better Arsenal team. I think he was part of both eighth place teams. But he was instrumental in kind of starting our upward trajectory. But again, I'm not trying to put him. I know ST, he's a calamity. I disagree. I don't think he's a calamity. Was he amazing? No. But again, look at the team we had, and that surrounded him. I think he was the best of I don't know, an old used car, whatever. Willian was the next sign. Willian was someone who, he was brought in to kind of help leadership and kind of unite the team with his winning mentality. And when we brought Willian in, we were kind of like the bad boys of the Premier League, not in a good way. We just had bad attitude problems, bullying problems, and he was a free transfer from Chelsea. So whatever, it was free. I don't give a fuck. Didn't help Chelsea, but it didn't work out. Obviously, he had problems. He struggled. He admitted this to in articles and stuff. He struggled to find motivation because of the bad dressing room and the COVID pandemic. So yeah, he kind of wasn't put in a good dressing room to succeed, which obviously we have now. So I'm not too worried about that. I know I'm almost done, Tanner. I promise I'm almost done. But I will say when we got
I had to
Willian
blow
on a
my
free,
nose. Sorry.
no, I'm kidding. I will say though, when we signed Willian the last season, he was one of, if not the best player that Chelsea had. I forgot there's another player that was really good on their team, but Willian was the maestro of that Chelsea team.
Yeah.
So yeah, very good. Whatever. So next, Jorginho. Again, another player probably bought in for the dressing room. You know, he's coached the academy. He's been videotaped and pictured at academy sessions. He's been videoed and pictured at academy games. He's coached up the academy. Good leadership qualities. He was a very pivotal player in the dressing room. And I know to some people it doesn't matter, but as you see, as our culture has progressed, and I think it's one of the best cultures in the Premier League in the world, Jorginho helps it. I was a little bit. I'm not as high on him as most people. I think most people think he had
a little bit.
Okay, I wasn't.
You
I didn't like him.
You were.
I mean, listen, he wasn't Granit Xhaka, but I didn't like him that much. But
I think you'd have taken Xhaka over Jorginho. I think you actually may have said that.
No. Well, no. Like who had a better? Time out. Is the question who had a better career at Arsenal, or is the question who did I like least?
Who would you rather have in an Arsenal shirt? Granit Xhaka while we had him, or Jorginho while we had him?
Well, I mean, Xhaka only because Jorginho was out of his prime. We kind of had Xhaka in his prime.
Okay, all right.
So that's not really saying much, but fair. But yeah, he helped culture. He was good for the club and whatever. Fine. Next person, Kai Havertz. I feel like I'm getting timing here. He surprised most. I know we paid a lot of money for him, and we bought him to be a left 8. Didn't start off too well, but then we put him in a striker role, and we have developed him to now he's a multi-dimensional player. He's good in the air. He can win duels. He knows how to run his space. He's probably our best runner. He's probably our smartest runner, attacking wise. So yeah, I think Kai Havertz was a good buy, and I wasn't a huge fan of the buy at first, but yeah. And then we get to Sterling, which our last player, who I know we've kind of talked about already. I mean, let's just be honest. He's worth signing. He was terrible, but Chelsea pretty much paid his wages to play for us.
Yeah.
So we
got a warm body for free.
Yeah, and again, it goes back to what you're saying. For free. And I think Sterling kind of furthers my point of us paying $52 million for Madueke. Is we took the cheap option. We tried to we just need backup for Saka. Like you said, we just need a warm body for Saka. We could just anybody. Oh, yeah. Chelsea, you're trying to get rid of Sterling? Oh, you're gonna pay him most of his wages? Like, yeah, he's won trophies.
I feel like that was an opportunity of. So what do I want to use? Or I guess it was opportunistic for us to pull that off.
Yeah, I mean, again, as you could see, and it's indicative of all these Chelsea players that we signed. All of them have led teams, whether it's Chelsea or their international teams or other teams. They've been leaders. They've been in charge of dressing rooms, and Sterling is someone who has been in all of that. I don't know if he's really led. I don't think he led England at all, but he's captained teams before. And I'm not defending the Sterling loan. It was terrible. But again, that's what happens when you go cheap. That's what happens when you.
That's what happens when you have no plan.
I mean, yeah, to an extent, yeah. I mean, it just goes to show that I think I almost think in a way the Raheem Sterling loan, the failure of it, kind of almost pushed the Madueke deal because you realize, oh, okay, we can't just put anybody to back Saka up because things can happen. Players get hurt. So I think we realize as a club, okay, we need don't want to say, I don't think 52 million is a big money signing, but yeah, we paid it. We paid a good chunk. So I think, getting back up isn't cheap these days if you want to win trophies. And, you brought up earlier talking about Man City and Liverpool and how, Man City brought Jack Grealish, they bought Riyad Mahrez, they bought all these players as rotational options. None of them were brought in to start.
No, Mahrez was brought in to start. I'll disagree with you there.
He was for a while. I mean, KDB is an attacking midfielder. He played in the central. Him and Mahrez rotated positions. You can check.
Mahrez played on the right wing.
I said that. I know they played different positions, but I'm telling you, there was times where they would switch because KDB likes to come in from the right sometimes. He starts in the middle. I don't want to talk Man City tactics, but Mahrez was not a nailed-on starter for every game this season. I can promise you that. We'll debate that. We'll debate that off the air. Yeah, we'll do it another time. My point is, I don't think that we can do that. I don't know if we could spend $100 million on a player like Jack Grealish and be like, oh, he didn't work out. Okay, something that's not talked about at all, just a flop at Man City, and no one talks about it. $100 million. So I mean, but if you want to win trophies, like those teams, and let's face it, Liverpool, they've done it relatively the right way. They've invested in their team, so why can't we? They've made a lot of crazy signings, so we're gonna have to, I think if Liverpool can do it, why can't we? And I only bring up City as an example is because they've won all these trophies, and I'm not saying we need to spend $100 million on a Rodrigo. Oh wait, people are saying we should do that. No. But what I'm saying is that top teams pay money for rotational players. And I think that although I'm not going to pay $100 million for Rodrigo, which, $90 million, what everyone's saying,
what would you pay?
For Rodrigo? I love the Menweke deal. I don't think I don't. Have a good night, Mike. Well, send me a text when you get into bed, okay? Let me know you're okay. I know people don't want to hear this, but I think the Menweke deal is better. So less. So what I pay for a girl, less than the Menweke deal, whatever that is.
So wait, so if you're willing to pay $52 million for a backup.
But this goes to I'm looking at his wages. I'm not looking at it the one time payment of $50 million. I'm looking at the $50,000 a week I'm paying him, the least amount in the club.
But I don't. Okay, but see, I think there's folly in that because I think you're looking at the side of the argument that makes you feel better about this.
What do you mean?
You're choosing to focus on the 50,000. You're choosing to focus on his wage.
Well, the wage. Well, the price of price of $52 million is because his wages are so low. That's why we're paying so much.
Okay, so what would you pay a starter then? He wants out of Chelsea bad enough that he's willing to live without a pay raise.
Right.
Effectively, because I think he's currently on $50K a week at Chelsea.
He is.
So,
yeah.
Okay. So my question then is,
ooh.
I get because we talked about it before.
I know. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you pay for a starter then?
Weekly, or are you talking about a fee?
Both.
Club?
Both. If he's on, again, I'm going to go back. I'm going to make it 47 because I am fairly certain that I trust the sources that I saw say this because I saw it like 4 or 5 places.
It was 48 plus 4, right?
No, it was 42 plus 10.
Oh. Okay.
And there were two bonuses. The one was again him winning the Ballon d'Or for 5 and us winning Champions League for 5. So I'm willing to drop 5 of that because it's not winning the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
So I'll call it 47. I'll call it 42 plus 5 is what I'll call it. But 42 for a backup is reasonable. That I guess I can see in the Premier League and a guy of so it's funny. You could be like, well, that's what we are paying. And then if we win the Champions League, would you not give Chelsea another $5 million because you won the Champions League and he was part of the team? So I guess ultimately at the end of the day, if I'm looking at it and it is 42 plus 10 but minus 5 because he's not going to win the Ballon d'Or, I guess I'm okay with it. Because that is actually, that's not a bad price. Considering who he is, that's not a bad price. Again, as I said, and I'm sorry I kind of bogarted your time here.
No, you're good.
Let me back up because I asked you a question.
Yeah, you did.
So wage and fee. What would you? You're not a Rodrigo guy. God bless.
For his money. For his money, not even.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this then. For that money, give me a player that you would bring in for that money. Kai's on what, 265?
He's our highest paid player, yeah.
Right, and it's 265.
I'm looking it up right now. He was 280. It says the site I'm on is 280.
Okay.
Gabriel Jesus is on 265. Oh, I wish I didn't go.
Maybe that's who I'm thinking of.
Oh, Madonna mia. Oh, Vieira's making less than 50K. What do you know? Anyways, this is old. This is this year. Where's Lewis Skelly? All right. Well, sorry. So repeat your question.
Okay. So if Rodrigo is, I've seen 90 million euro, which translates, we'll just call it 77 million pounds. So let's talk about it in pounds, because this is the other thing too that I think that creates a lot of confusion and uncertainty with people is you get these guys talking about things in pounds and euro. So like you see Ornstein report, it's 10 million euro or 10 million pounds, but then you see Fab reported as 10 million euro. It's like, well, there's a difference there. 10 million euro is probably like, what's that?
I'm so bad at when I see those monies, I just don't even think about it because I'm just so
well. So back to my question. So let's call it 77 million pounds, and roughly 250 a week. What left winger would you bring in on those numbers?
Nobody. Well, no, Bukayo Saka's twin.
So there's no left winger out there in the world that you would bring in for that money.
See, now I have to look at wingers now.
Okay, attackers. Doesn't have to be a winger. It has to be a starting attacker. Because what I'm hearing is you're willing to go above and beyond for a backup, but you're not willing to pay the going rate for what? I don't want to say that he's not world class. You're not willing to pay that for a.
Wait, what do you mean going above and beyond?
You seem willing to go above and beyond for Madueke and the transfer fee. Now, is that only because of the wage? If the wage were $100,000, let's say he was on,
I would say if it's $100,000, I would say 42 is a little high. Yeah.
Okay.
The reason why I'm okay with 52 or whatever number we just decided on, the only reason why I'm okay with it is because he's getting
because of the wage. Okay.
He's getting paid almost the same amount as Patrick Vieira. Fabio Vieira. He's getting paid the same amount as Lakanga. Like, for fuck's sake, like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we talking about? Like, it's insane.
Who's the winger from Bakayoko?
No,
going for like 35 million right now from PSV. 5 clubs in for him at like 35 million. I mean, there's a player right there that I mean, he was on my short list.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of these names that people are pulling out now, it's like, oh wait, yeah, we still have him. Yeah, we still have Samuel.
Yeah,
I forgot all about him. Well, anyway, so because I think the going rate for a starting attacker's got to be easily 80 million, close to 80 million pounds. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I guess not because
all right. I have a name.
Go for it.
Isak.
Okay, what would you be willing to pay for him? Where would you draw the line? Because I mean, Newcastle won a number that nobody's going to go to. Newcastle put out the number 200 million, knowing full well there's not a club in the world that's going to pay that. I don't know what his wages are. Do you have his wages there?
I can look it up. So I wish I had all this I mean, and so
real Ryan, that's even worse because there's a player there that we absolutely could have gone for.
Yeah, I'm, and again, this is something that is constantly in articles. Arteta, I'm not saying he solely buys Premier League players. He doesn't, obviously. Right. He likes Premier League proven players. He wants to know if they can adapt to the system. He wants to know if they can adapt to the play. The play in the Premier League is just different. I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying it's worse. It's just different.
Oh boy, did you find his wages?
I haven't. I was just about to look.
Wait. So stop. Before you see it, you heard my reaction.
I must have something different because he's not even the highest paid player at Newcastle on my screen.
That's why I whistled.
Yeah, this is nothing.
Like considering what he's done.
I would make him the highest. I would make him the highest paid player at Arsenal.
300.
See, it's so tough.
He's on. By the way, for the chat, if you didn't look it up, he's on 120K per week at Newcastle.
Yeah. It's so tough to put a price on it because it's not my money. So I can't be like, oh yeah, I'll play him $1 million. I'll play him $1 million a week. But no, I don't know. I'm not trying to. No, I don't know if I would do. 275, 280. I mean, but again, he's making 120, right? So let's increase it. Let's double it and then half it. So that's 300. So yeah, I won't go past 300 though.
What about a fee?
I mean, I would definitely. I don't know. I would go in Declan Rice territory, but Declan Rice is such a pit. It's for me. I don't know. I guess 110, 120. I don't know. It's hard to put a price tag on something I would pay for it because again, it's not my money.
Right. No,
I would say 500.
I get it. I get it. I mean, I try to think of it. I try to think reasonably about these things, and it's not my money. I can't fathom.
No, and I respect that. It's hard for my brain to think reasonably because it's
because it's not your money.
I can't. Yeah, I can't.
I just try to look at it from the business standpoint of things, and basically just kind of say all right, well, he's a Premier League proven striker with 20 plus goals last season under his belt. So I would say that's 130. And I don't even know who comes in for him. I don't know of a club that comes in for him. I think Newcastle are going to end up having to pay him a very, very handsome wage, but I don't think there's a club out there unless it's a Saudi club that they just print money. But I don't think there's a club in Europe that come in for him. Anyway, the only thing, just kind of back to the Chelsea thing, and to put a nice little bow on this because I got to run.
No, there's literally nobody. I'm looking at the top wingers, value wise, Yamal, but again, he's a right winger.
Well, he's right, yeah.
The only person I would like to, Dembele would probably move off the right wing if we came to Arsenal. But really,
Dembele can play through the middle too.
Again, I can never pronounce his name, but the left winger from PSG,
Kvaratskhelia.
He's the only player I would pay top. Olise, but Olise just joined Bayern. That's really it. I'm not in love with any of these wingers. And the ninth most according to Transfer Market, the ninth.
See, this is a good shout too. I would have loved to have get Semenyo from Bournemouth. I would have loved that deal.
Oh no, he was my top. He was my top pick. my top pick at the end of the season. I wanted him in very badly, but he just extended at Bournemouth. So
the only thing I'll say on the Chelsea thing is that if you don't like the deal simply because he was a Chelsea player, piss off. That's stupid.
Or just to say like, oh, we signed stupid. Chelsea rejects, and it's like, yeah, we signed him after the fact, but like, obviously, some of these things I'm grasping at straws, but like, they all weren't that bad. They brought something to this.
In the moment, for what we were, they weren't that bad.
No, they weren't.
If that, like, you need to look at the players and say, can this player make my team better? And if the answer is yes, and there's a chance that you can get him, then go get him. Do you really think that Arsenal are sitting there saying, obviously they're not. Do you think Arsenal are sitting there saying to themselves, we're not going to go sign this player because of who he played for last? No. If they think he can make the team better, they're going to go sign him. Period. And that's all that should matter at the end of the day. Again, my opinion in all of this means nothing. This is just a talking point. The vitriol, I was not a fan of it when I saw it. When I saw the number, I'm like, what the, but again,
I convinced you. It's okay. You could say it. You could admit it.
What's that?
So you could admit it. I convinced you. It's a perfect signing.
You had a part in it. I won't deny that. You had a part in it. You've made very good points.
Yeah. Try.
I think like the more that I've thought about it, the more I've started to come around. I think a big part of it is I've got to be patient. And I'm not. I am not. Like I have always been this way where I want it now.
But
I want Gyökeres now. I want Eze.
You're not the only person. Like
obviously,
you're obviously not the only person because look at Twitter the last few days. It's been a cesspool.
And
any social media. Reddit's been really bad.
God bless you because you have that patience. Give me some. Can I have some? I would love some.
Yeah. But the only issue with me is if it doesn't happen, come September 1st.
Let me ask you that.
I'm an idiot, and B, I'll be probably pissing everybody on social media combined. So
if now let me ask you this real quick, and then we're going to sign off. All right. Yeah. Is it? You don't seem to what's the word? You don't seem too eager.
Worried? Oh, yeah.
Eager to sign a left winger.
I want to. Well,
obviously, it's Gyökeres at this point. If it's Sesko, I'll lose my fucking mind. There's that thing. It might be the first F-bomb of the show, but I'll lose my fucking mind.
It could have been, but again, like that's the thing. Like you can't trust every transfer rumor. It could have been. I'm not saying this is the case. It could have been Sesko the whole time, and this is just smoke and mirrors, Gyökeres stuff. We don't know. We don't know what goes on behind the scenes. So that's why,
I will say just real quick on the Gyökeres not reporting to training. We'll know tomorrow because almost today at this point. When you open your phones tomorrow, if you're on the East Coast here in the U.S., you're going to know in pretty short order if Gyökeres showed up to training, if he was full of shit or not. Because
that's a crazy statement.
Every. I don't think he should have been signed after. I did the sequence of events. It doesn't matter in terms of the final
the
product.
Club cares about what's palatable.
Exactly.
Is insane. They get the deals done when they get them done. They're like, oh, we probably shouldn't leak this to the media because the fans like that. That's an insane statement.
So is it for you? This is the question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
September 1st, window shuts.
Yeah.
To make you happy, for you to give this window at least a 9 out of 10. I don't know what you would rate it. If it's Gyökeres or a striker, we'll just say if it's one of the two. Okay.
I wouldn't be upset.
Well, if it's a striker, if it's Ollie Watkins,
I wouldn't be upset with Ollie Watkins, but I would be a little upset just because we could have gotten January. But that's that.
What's the bare minimum to make this a successful window for you? I guess let me just ask that instead of leading you.
Give me a number. What's successful?
You tell me.
I mean, right.
So, all right, what would you, in general, just real quick, I would say that I have rated our summer transfer windows over the past few years like a 7.
Right now,
Declan. No, I'm saying in general over the past few years, I would say on average they're probably a 7.5. I mean, the Declan Rice transfer window of 2 years ago is probably a 9. Obviously, getting him in, but I would say like a 7.5. So to make it a solid 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, perfect transfer window.
Not happening.
Okay.
For me, and I've kept. It's funny because people throw around, because you see on Twitter all the time, if we sign A, B, C, D, rate this out of 10. For me to get a 10 on a transfer window, we would have to bring in Isak.
Wow. Okay.
But I mean, but again, if we bring in Eze, Gyökeres, and then everybody else that's already in here, and then it's tough. If Menweke is our left wing answer, he's playing both, so it would be if we just add Gyökeres and Eze, I would probably give the window an 8. To bring it to a 9, we would have to bring in a left winger that would be an upgrade on Martinelli. Which again, and I know certain people don't want to hear this. I'm not.
You don't think Rodrigo is?
I don't. Is he better than Martinelli? Yes, of course he's better than Martinelli. Who the fuck? I was obviously fucking around, but like, I don't know what he's gonna do for us. Like, I don't know how he fits into the. I don't know how he fits. I'm just not.
There's a bit of an attitude there too. That we can talk about it another time.
I don't know what he's going to bring to the club. You know, he played last season right wing, and he wasn't good at it, and he doesn't want to play right wing, so he has to play left wing. I just don't get it. I don't see the hype, and then with the price tag attached to it, I don't get it.
Yeah.
The only left winger, and again, I've been like looking at this, like patrolling this.
Ademola Lookman.
No, what? He was.
That's the name that's if it's not Rodrigo, that's the other name out there.
He's not better than Martinelli, so
I don't think so either. That's which like he was big time. Like I remember Evertonians being very happy when they brought him in, and he did nothing for them.
Yeah, he came up with Leicester, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
And then he went to Atalanta, and he was good.
And now he's at Atalanta, and he's finally like found his footing.
To me, the only I'm looking right now, like the top markets for left wingers, the only left winger that would get me excited, and definitely from, again, my opinion, to be a better player than Martinelli, nailed on starter, would be probably Kvaratskhelia.
From
all these other players, they're not coming. I mean, to be fair, Kvaratskhelia is not coming here either.
Right, yeah.
The rest of these players are just. I mean, Semenyo would be nice. Sorry, yeah. Go ahead.
Let me ask this, and then.
Yeah.
ST, glad you were here for this, man. Thanks for jumping on board. Hopefully, you subscribed to the channel. We would appreciate it if you did that.
Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. We don't want to scare him away.
Yeah, right. It'd be weird if you didn't subscribe.
What?
I don't know. So, is it?
I guess.
Let me just say, for a successful window for you, is it striker, whomever, and Eberechi Eze, or would you be satisfied with, and Madueke's coming in. He's on his feet. Over. Like that's I would like to think that's a done deal. But would you, so Madueke's in, is it one or the other of the striker and Eze? Does it have to be both for you?
It's crazy because before the transfer, before it started, before we were even linked with Eze, if you had told me everybody we signed, including Madueke, and you just added Gyökeres to it, I'd be like, oh, it's probably like an 8 or a 9. You know, the only thing missing would have been Isak for me. And maybe an upgrade on Martinelli, I guess. But now that we're linked with Eze, it's just, for me, bringing in Eze turns the 8 into a 9 transfer window. I think Eze. Let
me phrase it a different way. For you to not be mad, for you to be able to look at this window and say, I'm satisfied
I guess it's tough, right? Because before the window, I would have said I would be satisfied with Gilchrist or a striker. It doesn't matter. A striker, that could start for us right now. I would be satisfied.
If it's only Madueke, and let's say we bring in Mosquera, and that's it. We nobody else.
Not a striker.
No, yeah, that's it. That's it. We can't get a deal. We won't pay the $60 million for Watkins. For whatever reason, we don't get the deal done with Sporting. If they just you know what, we'll watch him sit. We're not selling him to you, and the price for Sesko never comes down.
If you're not mad that we don't bring in a striker, then either A, you don't watch football, you don't know how it works, or you're just not a supporter of Arsenal. Because
but what if it's
a striker is a non-negotiable?
Okay, so even getting Eberechi Eze in, but no striker, and you're still mad.
Because think about it, who's our striker? Kai Havertz.
I know.
We're in the same. Yeah, I know, but we're in the same boat as we were last season. So, why would I? No,
there's no.
It's
no
crazy because I would still be excited because I just think the world of Eze, and I want to see. I'm everybody I'm close to, I've told this to. I'm getting him in Weke shirt. I'm getting his name in the back of my shirt whenever he knows his number. I like the fact.
20, I want him to wear 23.
The fact that because he turned his comments off of social media, I think it was, or Instagram. He's getting so much abuse, and he still wants to come here.
Yeah, that's just stupidity.
It just shows that he really wants to play for us, and Arteta really convinced him. And I've always been of the notion, unless the person's a bad guy, that's different. But if he did nothing wrong except for the shirt he wears and the price he paid for, like a Nicolas Pepe.
But that's not his fault.
That's my point. But that's why he's getting all the shit.
I
want him to succeed so bad, and he might not. He might never start a game for Arsenal just because of who's in front of him, and I understand that. But I just want him to, just contribute, and I want to see a smile on his face with Saka holding him or Declan Rice holding him because they play on the England team together, and Declan Rice and him are like friends. So I don't know, but I'm getting a shirt. But I think we could have signed none of these players. Like, let's say we made 0 signings so far this transfer window. I think in order for this window to be successful, you have to sign a striker. If we just signed a striker, it might not have been a good window, but you can't really argue it wasn't a successful one.
Yeah.
A striker is just, again, we talk about Arteta.
It's a non-negotiable.
It's a non-negotiable. That's what we talk about. So it's but now that we're looking at Eze, it's like, dude, we need to get him in now.
Yeah, that's the linchpin. I think I legitimately believe that if that deal happens, my expectations will be trophies, not trophies or bust.
Oh yeah,
and we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
We're up.
We need. As patient as I am, obviously, you want these signings. Our first preseason game is in 11 days, so
give or take.
It just turned midnight here, so it's July 12th. So our first preseason game is July 13th or 23rd, excuse me.
11 days.
So 11 days. So I want these players in because I want them to get a preseason. I want them to get acquainted with each other. I want to see what these players can do together because our schedule to start the season off, it ain't easy. And we have to hit the ground running.
Yeah, for sure. Which also kind of begs can we just get these things done? Like what are we haggling? What are we haggling with Sporting at this point?
I'm being a little impatient. I'm patient, but we need to. The striker thing needs to end. It is exhausting
at this point. Yeah, and the Eze thing I feel like could drag a little bit too, but I kind of hope that
hopefully that concludes because of Palace is now dropping into
getting demoted to
So that might incentivize a sale. So.
I don't know that he'll force his way. We're going to talk about this another time. We've got too many good ideas. We'll do a 15-hour long. You know what we ought to do? We ought to see if we can do the old potathon like what Mike does.
Oh, God, no.
See if we could do that. See if we can pull it off.
God help us.
I know, right? All right, listen, that's going to be it for us. Do you want to add anything else? I'm ready to get out of here. I got to go check on a dog.
No,
good talk.
It was good talk. I'm very excited for Ben Weke. I hope he proves everybody wrong.
I hope everybody who has this negativity toward him, I hope he proves everybody wrong. Because if he proves everybody wrong, the haters, that's a good thing. That's a good thing for Arsenal Football Club, and that's at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I want him to. Yeah. I want him to be happy. I want him to improve the team. I want him to what you just said that I said. I want him to raise the floor. That's all I want him to do.
Yes.
And at 50K, if 50K a week, if he could do that, steal.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys, that's it for us. There are no outro or intro videos because I kind of refusing to pay StreamYard some exorbitant prices right now, and
they might shut us down. Don't talk shit now.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, they just won't let us broadcast anymore. But yeah, no outro video, so you got to sit here and watch us. But thank you, everybody in the chat. Good chat tonight. You guys were very active. A lot of really good comments. ST, thank you again for the subscription. Thank you again for being here. You can tell them where they can find you real quick.
Yeah, I mean I'm on social media at this all the time. Oh, I did it right. Oh, you just took the comment away.
Oh shit, sorry. There.
Oh yeah. That's I'm on Twitter X. I'm also on Blue Sky. I still haven't figured that out yet, but I think it's the same thing. So yeah, I mean, even if we have different opinions, I know ST said some things that I don't agree with, but like I love conversing with our Arsenal fans. I love debate. Yeah. I love the interactions. So please, ST. I don't know even know if ST's on Twitter or X, but yeah, I love it. Keep them coming. Shout out chat. Good job, chat.
ST, if you're on Twitter, X, you can follow me at the Bearded Gooner, the DA Bearded Gooner. Also Instagram Bearded Gooner. You can find me there as well. Obviously YouTube. You guys are all here. If you have not already, please again drop a like on the video. Make sure to click that subscribe button. Also, make sure to hit the bell icon so that you never miss a show. Follow us on the socials. We promote everything in there. Good show, good footy talk. We'll see you out there.